Okay. Thanks to viewers like you. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. Thanks for reading our disclaimer. I'm not a psychologist. Don't give investment advice. Just a friend who cares about your success. And that's why I do this show. Um, yeah. So, what I want to try to figure out today is why the F the market is so difficult. Now, we've sort of I can't speak on everyone's behalf, but for me, personally, I felt this market is really hard. So what I want to do is early on. So what I want to do is I want to show strategies like, for example, Amazon hits the exponential 8 here. You can see you have a nice little know your limit 8 on Amazon here where it would have worked. And I'm going on a 1 minute chart just so we're clear. You could see it obviously worked there. You could see on Tesla, the stock went down. That sort of makes the 1 minute a little harder. But then it started breaking up. And even over here on the exponential 8, it didn't really do a lot early on. It sort of was just blippy, but then it leaned up. But every time you hit the 21, that is like really the straight up, the straight up money shot. It actually missed the 21 right there. It's a straight up money shot. And um, I think if you added up my P&L up until like 10:30 over the past 4 days, you'd probably come out with a number about negative 25 to 30,000 um, dollars if you just added up my P&L for the first hour. Now, you know, thankfully I'm having a good week and everything, and I was able to recover. But why? Whether I recovered or not is it is relevant. That's why I'm obviously saying it. But why is the market so hard early on, and why am I able to recover afterwards? And that's what I really want to talk about here today. So I'm going to talk, first of all, a lot of the good news flow is coming out after 11. It comes out after 11 in this environment. We know that. Why? Because that's the way it works. That's the way it is. Is it going to stay that way? I don't know. Is the market going to change again? Yes. Is this going to be always how the market is? Of course not. You know that. But what I want to do is the reason the market is hard is it gets choppy near the exponential 8. However, when you hit the 20, if you hit the 21, here's an argument I'm going to make. Here's my theory. I don't know if it's true or not. We're going to go through examples, but here's my theory. Um, you're trading above the first 5 minute high. Whoa, holy caps lock. Stop shouting, Mark. Notice when people write in caps lock, every time somebody writes in caps lock, it's like, wow, it's like shouting. It's like, you know, like I could write it on chat, like, look at that in chat. You're like, oh my God, he's telling watch the 21 on Amazon. But like, if I said it like that, it comes off a lot differently, right? you know, I'm always shouting. Um, I rarely shout. But all kidding aside, if you're so here's my argument. You're trading, and I think this is going to help a lot of you. I went over it yesterday, but maybe I need to spell it out so it resonates with you differently. It needs to resonate with me. I need to follow this because I'm down 25, $30,000 in the first hour of trading in 4 trading days. You feel me? Probably closer to 25, but who gives a shit? It's a lot of money, right? Like, I mean, happy I'm up for the week, but just like, holy shit, what happened? Um, so you're trading above the first five, and even if I was down for the week, let's say I'm down 25 grand for the week, like this is gonna be very helpful for me. It's not about, it's important that I told you I come back, not like, oh, well, I came back from it. No, that's not, that's not who I am. I'm telling you that because I'm going to show you exactly how I came back from it. And what I'm showing you now is as a result from coming back to that, showing you what you need to avoid and what you need to go for. You're trading above the first 5 minute high. Wait for the 21 EMA to hit on the 1, then 2, then 5 minute chart. What I'm saying is you have a trade every single time. If you want one trade, if you told me I could pick, here's my argument. Let's tone down the trading here. I know I do a F ton of trades. I do an F ton of trades. Let's tone it down a bit. Let's say you had 3 trades to do in any name you're trading. And I'm going to use the hindsight of what happened today based on your examples and my list, so I won't be cherry picking. But my point is, let's say tomorrow I told you with no news flow aside, here's my argument. You have 3 trades to do. Three. 3 trades to do. I'm saying these would be my 3 trades. Wait for the wait for the 21 EMA to hit on the 1, then the 2, then the 5 minute chart. These are 3 different trades. 2, 3. Buy through the next 1 minute breakout, and if applicable, see if you can portal to the 2 minute. I know some of you are like, how about a portaling to the 5 minute? It's nice when it happens. I'm not there yet. I understand that it's possible. So you buy through the 1 minute breakout and see if you could portal to the 2 minute. If you don't know what that means, that's okay. I'm going to explain it to you. Just bear with me as best as you can. Then I'm going to give you an example. Scalp out. Once the 1 minute hits, once the 1 minute hits, once the 1 minute hits, wait for the 2 minute. If the 1 minute 21 hits, wait for the 2 minute 21. If the 2 minute 21 hits, wait for the 5 minute 21. I don't know the results if this will even work. This is a theory. It's called theory crafting, is what I'm doing. I'm crafting a theory and I want to see how it works. So it's very important to me that you're trading above the first 5 minute high. Now I know what some of you are going to ask. Well, what if you moved down early and then you went up on a chart reset, but you already hit the 21 for the first time? I'm fine with that. I notice I didn't say the first time. I said do them one time. So when do you want to do it? You want to do it when you obviously could abide by the first rule. Okay? Theory crafting. Right. Theory crafting. It's how do you think how do you think we came with all these strategies that you guys apply? It's completely based on theory crafting. The 2 minute green takes red. How did I come up with it? I took Kelly's strategy and I theory crafted around it. I don't know if it's going to be, it's a term I use. So, okay, according to Wikipedia, theory craft, whoa, whoa. Theory crafting is the mathematical analysis of game mechanics. Yeah, I usually do it in video games. Usually in video games to discover optimal strategies and tactics. Theorycraft involves analyzing statistics, hidden systems, or underlying game code in order to glean information that is not apparent during normal gameplay. Right. So, coming from a gaming background, this is obviously where I did get the word. Um, but just keeping it completely real with you guys right now. This is theory crafting. So what I'm doing is I'm proposing to you, I'm proposing to you a theory. This is my theory. Now, I want it to work or I want it to don't work. I don't give an F if it works or not. Do you understand what I'm saying? Obviously, I think it's going to work. That's why we're having this conversation. So let's figure it out together. We have to follow these four rules. Do you think? Now, granted, a lot of it's going to be hindsight. These are the four rules. This is my theory craft, and let's just pick random names like the ones on my list. Tesla. All right. So just keep in mind. So the first 5 minute high today on Tesla, you can. That's April. That's Monday. All right. This is today in Tesla. So really, the first 5 minute high here is. I'll move my head down. The first 5 minute high here is 679.57. So unless you're above that level, I really don't care when you hit the 21. So you obviously hit it here for the first time, but you're not above 679.57. You have to really start going above here before you hit it, right? I'm not saying the 21 necessarily has to be above there. It could be, but I'm pretty much looking for a range where you're above that candle. It does make it easier if the 21 is above. I could clearly see when it hit the 21 again, it didn't happen, and I could clearly see that it's going to work. But just for the sakes of it, remember, I just really want it to be holding above the 21. All right. So it happens right over here on the 1 minute. You know, obviously the next 1 minute breakout here, it was a crushing good trade on the 1 minute, right? So afterwards, we just switched to a 2 minute chart. So this happened at 10 between 10:14 and 10:15 a.m. on Tesla. That's the that's where the 1 minute 21 hit. It actually hit right here between 10:12 and 10:13. But you get it. It happened right around there, right? The exact time isn't important. So now I'm going over to a 2 minute chart. Now, where did the 21 really hit on the 2 minute chart? It actually missed here. The low of this is 677.50. So the 2 minute actually hit right over here in Tesla for the first time, right over here at 1052. So let's do a side by side because remember, even if the 2 minute hits, remember, even if the 2 minute hits, you're buying through the next 1 minute breakout. That is the strategy. Okay. So the 1 minute worked on Tesla. Um, let's do a side by side. So we got the 1 minute on the left, the 2 minute on the right. We could see the 2 minute hits right over here between 1050 and 1052. We're going to go right over here between 1050 and 1052. So right over here it hit. And the next 1 minute breakout failed. If you tried to buy through here, it would have blipped up a few pennies, and or even if you waited here, it would have blipped up, it wouldn't have worked. So already the 1 minute worked beautifully, 2 minute, not at all. Okay. Now let's move. I'm going to change the 2 minute on the right side to the 5 minute chart. So now the right side is a 5 minute chart and the left side is a 1 minute. Okay. For me, the first real hit of the, now I could, cherry pick and go down here and say, look how well it worked off the 21. I'm going to call it right over here after you're trading above the day high because that is my rule. So between 11:15 and 11:20, you could just see the 5 1 minute candles on the left side. When I highlight the 5 minute candle on the right side, you see like it'll literally highlight those 5 bars for you. So it literally on the 5 minute was 682.33. So literally this is the 1 minute candle on this left side over here that I'm clicking. This is the one that actually broke the 21 on the 5. Goes down. Here's a little interesting. It goes up, it prints by a few pennies, and then takes off. To me, that trade worked. That trade worked because you're always aiming. Now, whether or not you made money on it, you might be looking and you might say, well, I would have lost money. There are trades all the time. I say trades are good or trades are nice. You making money on them, believe it or not, is not as relevant as you think. So right over here, what you're really looking for is you're looking for a 1 minute portal. Remember, just as we said, you're looking, if applicable, you see if you could portal to the two. That's why the trade worked, because you're always trying to portal to the two. You feel me? You're always trying to portal for the two. And I'm not saying you would have gotten stopped out, but let's say even if you did get stopped out on this 1 minute, you have the right to trade it again after the 1 minute closes because you're still looking to portal to green takes red. Look at that move in Tesla, right? Beautiful. So for me, again, you want to sit there and play with the blips. Be my guest. Yes, you can get blipped out. You can get flustered. You can throw it away. That's not my point. You can make money on trades that I'm saying you didn't work. I've made trades. I've made money on trades that I could look at a chart and say, no, that trade wasn't good. It's not about making money or losing money. It's about, is this something viable in which you could generally do to make money? That's the real question here. Next, we're going to Amazon today, and you missed the 21 there, but you hit it right over here for the first time. And the 21 isn't really above day highs, but actually it is, right? 314. The day high is 33, 13, 32, and it actually misses the 21 here, by the way. So if you thought it hit it here, it actually misses it a little. I could see the number between them. The E21 is less. It actually hits it here for the first time on the entire day period. This is the first time Amazon actually hits on the 1 minute 21. And the 1 minute 21 in this case happens to be $14.40. And on Amazon, this one is $13.32, leaving out the 3,300, the 33 in front as redundancy. So right over here, you would get a 1 minute breakout where it pops up $1.80. To me, that's a doable move in Amazon. I think I actually made money on that. I think you can make 75 cents on that on $1.80 move, marketing in and out. So I think I actually made money on this one. To me, that Amazon trade worked. Why? Why am I saying it worked even though it popped and dropped? Because I'm being consistent with my words. I'm saying scalp out. We're talking low conviction scalping off moving averages here in a very choppy, dead environment. Just so we're clear. Just so we're clear, the market didn't move today. If you want to be perfectly, straight up about it. Not saying there aren't stocks that moved, I'm saying the market didn't move. Can't really argue that. We had one of the tightest days this year, right? Just remember, it's thanks to viewers like you. Okay. Um, should I do that during the open house? I'd like to thank all open house attendees for watching. It's thanks to viewers like you that make the Newsbeat live room work. Just have it with the little chip inserter. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Um, I just find it hilarious. All right, so for me on Amazon, the 1 minute worked. So far, the 2 minute, I would say the 2 minute on Tesla failed, the 1 and 5 minute failed. I'm going to say the 1 minute worked on Amazon. Let's go over to the two. And remember, I'm not being like a complete stickler about it. Like, you sort of can play any 21. So like right over here when it hits the 2 minute 21, you can always do a low conviction scalp. I'm saying I'm trying to force you into three trades. That's the point. Because most traders do the 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 trades, 200 trades. I'm saying if you are forced to do, that's the point. You feel me? So, like, why this one? Well, you could ignore this if you want. Personally, I would take it. It hits right over here, 0923. It literally hits the 2 minute 21 on this 1 minute candle on the left side. It goes down and bang, you jump. I actually took this trade. I actually made money on this trade. I called it out and made money on it today. I actually did this trade and made money. Maybe I have to, you want to make an argument that I could word my theory a little different. Sure. I'm sort of forcing you into trades. And I just want to be perfectly clear on the Tesla. 1 minute 21, even if you might have gotten blipped around here, it wasn't that bad, even though I didn't consider this the first 21 test on Tesla. Just thought I'd point that out. So to me on Amazon, it worked. Now, if you want to go over to the 5 minute of Amazon, it hits right over here for the first time. 5 minute of Amazon hits right over here when it breaks 0199. So right over here, this is the first candle on the 1 minute. So on the left side, you see move my head over here. See this 1 minute candle right here? That's the first candle that hits the 5 minute 21. Go long through the next 1 minute breakout. Bang, $3. Look at that, $3. Catch $1 on that. You may, Steve is like, maybe for you boys out there, you made $1. I caught 4. That's effing amazing, Steve. So I'm saying you don't have to. Yeah, I got to get those feminine hands. I got like, as Boof says, diarrhea hands or like butterfingers, and it's beautiful. Bottom line is it worked. Okay. And look, I don't give a shit. You want to sell part of your position, you want to tap into your femininity and show us boys how to trade a stock for real? Be my guest. Be my guest. Be my guest. Okay. Um okay. Let's see, because I'm obviously just trying to cherry pick random names here. So we're just going to go off the names of this chart right here. So I started with Tesla and Amazon. I'm going to move into Microsoft, Facebook, Twitter, and Roku. And maybe yes, maybe no, I'll do the spiders and Qs, okay? Even though I'm not looking to trade it, but maybe some of you are. So we're going to go into Microsoft next. Sort of held up here. I might actually just remove this line right here. I might just change it to a preference, but not as a be all end all. I'm just slightly adjusting my theory craft, thanks to viewers like you. I just wanted to point out, so here's Microsoft hitting the 1 minute 21. Look at that. Home F and run. The stock jumped up 51 cents in 1 minute. On Microsoft, that's a home run. Take 4,000 shares, you catch 15 cents, gold. It's a 1 minute move on Microsoft. Look at that, right off the 21. And you know what? To make it easy for you to see, I'm going to remove everything but the 21. How's that? That's what I should have done, just to show you. This might be one of the most important videos you watch, ladies and gentlemen. Do not underestimate these videos that we do at night. Don't underestimate, there's always this one, and look, you want to argue you could have done it again here. That's not my theory. I'm saying do it only the first time. So after you did it on the 1 minute, you want to look for the 2 minute. So the 2 minute happens right over here for the first time. Right over here. So you could see like how it highlights on the left, like on the right is the 2 minute, and it shows you the 2 bars that hit it. The 21 moving average is 253.16. So literally on this candle right here, it breaks through the 2 minute 21. Wait for the next 1 minute breakout. Goes from 15 to 22 cents. I mean, what are you going to do? Break even, make a little, lose a little? To me, that's a fine trade. I don't mind that trade. And notice I'm not even saying, look, you could have held it a little longer and then paying. And I'm not even talking like that. I'm just saying it didn't shit in your face immediately. That to me is success. You never know what you're going to make. Like when I say like, oh, that Amazon, it moved up 10 points. Steve is coming out like, oh, yeah, well, I made 4 points. I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, I think I made $1, dollar and a half. Feel me? Maybe do the green to red on the 1 minute. Sure, why not? But if you did that, again, over here, wouldn't it work? So we're just looking really for the next 1 minute breakout. So to me, that's not that bad on Microsoft. You're not going to get hurt doing that, is my opinion for what I do. I could speak on my own behalf. Okay. The 5-minute 21, which you see on the right side, hit at 252.67. So this was the first bar that broke the 5-minute 21. Digest, breaks out. Post 11, 14-cent move in Microsoft. Looked like it was going to go through the hole if you held this one a little longer to go through 253, and it didn't. And it started dropping from 96 to 90 to 89, and you made 5, 6, 7, 8 cents instead of the 14 while you're trying to make 20 to 30 cents. That's fine. That's a workable trade. If you disagree, check off the ones you disagree with. For me, do I like look? Am I looking to scalp Microsoft on this strategy? F no. That's not what I try to do on Microsoft. Would I do it in Tesla with the bigger moves you saw? Yes. Would I do it in Amazon with the bigger moves you saw? Yes. I mean, I'm not looking to. So why am I watching it? You know, because sometimes I don't mind a nickel or a dime scalp. It's not something that I'm, maybe if I was trying to learn the strategy, let's say you're trying to learn the strategy, maybe you choose a Microsoft early on if you're scalping some shares and just see if you could do it. Nothing wrong with that. If you're trying to learn the strategy, it's not even about the money. Now you have Facebook over here. I mean, this one just went south of the border, but I'm not going to cherry pick. I'm going to say, let's say you did this 1-minute 21 here. Stock blipped up 10 cents and then crapped itself. Straight up failure. Again, I'm not saying you can't make money. Maybe you front ran it a little. I'm not saying, remember, when I'm giving you guys these triggers at 313.78, you know, you could be buying these things earlier. Obviously, like I'm rarely buying at 78 cents if a trigger is 78. But just for the argument of this trial and error in which I'm showing you here, it failed. Went up 10 cents and dropped. Whether you made money or not, to me, I didn't think that was good. Just keeping it real. Right over here is the 2-minute, where the 2-minute 21 hits. You can see on the right side we have a 2-minute chart hits. You're looking for the next 1-minute breakout. Goes from 312.10, opens up at 311.63, and shoots up 80 cents through the 312.10 level. That obviously is a success. Obviously on Facebook. Remember, when I'm showing you, these are 60 seconds worth of bars. So I'm not sitting there, you're not sitting there going through pain. Then I had a little bit of algo support here on Facebook. See how nice that is when you have algo support down there, that line? Beautiful, right? One day I will incorporate everything I actually know how to do. And what you'll notice is the 5-minute 21 was the same trigger as the 2-minute 21. I'm not at the point where I'm not at the point where I'm going to tell you it's more powerful if you have two as opposed to one. So if the 2-minute worked, the 5-minute worked because they were identically the same trade. There would have been no differential in the trades. That's Facebook. Moving on to Twitter. Here's Twitter. And by the way, I'm taking every 21. You might say, well, Mark, you didn't have to do Facebook because it looked weak all day. Honestly, I'm with you. I would have agreed with you, but I might have tried this and lost anyway, and I'm fine with that. Okay. Yes, I prefer stronger names. So I did add in the word preference, but I am going through everything as if they hit it for the first time, just so we're clear, just to be fair. So after Facebook, we have Twitter. Um, I mean, clearly worked. Here's the first 1-minute 21, and it explodes up. So Twitter is a clear winner. Clear winner. 2-minute of Twitter hits over here. Let's see how that worked out. 2-minute of Twitter hit right here. Goes down. You have a 1-minute breakout from 70.43. Goes through 48 and drops. Not the cutest. Scalpable, maybe. For argument's sake, I'm just going to say it failed. You're not going to suffer much pain. This bar is 26 cents long, and you're not holding to the dead bottom of it, nor are you buying through the top here. But I would say it failed. 5-minute 21, 69.77. That 5-minute 21 hits right over here for the first time. And this is kind of weird because it blips through a penny here, but when the bar closes at 83, it goes straight up. To me, that again, it's a Twitter. I'm not looking to do this on a Twitter. I'm not looking to do this on a Microsoft. I'll tell you without even looking at it, I'm cool doing it on Square and Roku. I'll tell you that right now. I like to do the names that can move a lot, names that have wider ranges. So personally, looking at what's happening in Microsoft and Twitter, I mean, if I have nothing else going on, maybe. Like that's how I look at these names. Just so we're clear. And it's a very fair argument I'm making. I would have argued this 5 minute. You wouldn't have made much. You wouldn't have, lost. I would argue it sort of worked. I'm not going to give a break even or a neutral. It is what it is on Twitter. Square. Um, yeah, the wonders of being a woman. Square hits the 21 right over here. Goes through 250, 264, and then flushes down. To me on Square, that's a failure. I mean, I know you could probably make money on that. You're not actually losing a lot, believe it or not, on this 1 minute on Square. Not actually losing a lot, but for all fairness, I'm going to mark this down as a failure. And I think I'm pretty straightforward with my analysis of this. I think I'm doing a very fair analysis of this. Um, right over here hits the 2 minute 21. So you're looking for the next 1 minute breakout. I would argue this worked. I would argue this worked over here. 5 minute. You brought me mommy's phone? You brought me mommy's phone? Hi. Yeah, that is on the screen, dude. Yeah, he's on. Dude, can you bring this phone to mommy and shut my door? Love you, man. Yeah, all right, yeah. Can you go get a ball? I know. Yeah, I know. Daddy loves you, but you're. Bye. Yeah. Yes, a ball. I know. Go get a ball. Go play basketball. Shut my door, dude. Yeah, on the floor. That's right. Okay. Bye. Say bye. Boy. Oh, very good. That's a good word. Bye, dude. Here, shut daddy's door. I know. Bye, man. Hold on 1 second. Bye. Hold on. All right. Um, okay. Thank you for waiting. All right, so let's see what happened on square on the 5 minute here. Right over here is the 5 minute of square. It hits at 253.79, meaning it hit here for the first time, and it triggered through here and eventually took off. So for me, that's a successful 5 minute in square. I think it's very fair to say. I think it's very fair to say over here that it worked. And again, I'm not saying you held it the whole time, but a lot of times it's hard to say how many seconds were left because maybe the stock was going down and then maybe it closed near the top and then the next bar suddenly opens and shoots up. So I'm trying to do it as as best as I can here. Next one is Roku. And you guys see like how I'm judging it too. And granted, me judging it is my opinion on the trade. Right here is Roku. Obviously, the 1 minute 21 worked here. Went up $1.27 off the 1 minute. 2 minute of Roku. Hits right over here for the first time when it breaks 374.90. Blip the breakout right here. Went up 8 cents. Nah, failed. 5 minute of Roku. And look, just keep in mind, a lot of them that failed actually ended up taking off. That's the irony behind most of them. Did the 5 minute 21 here? It missed by a penny right over there. And it officially hit at 12:15. So yeah, time of day is obviously going to play into the conviction here. If you're hitting the 5 minute 21 so much later. Hits right over here. When it breaks 374.03. Right over here is the first break of it. If you go long through the top here, you make 8 cents on square. That's a fail for me on Roku. And 1, 2, 3. Let's look at the Qs. You know what? I forgot that the Qs are just in a dead range today, but just for shits and giggles. Hits here. Not terrible. Not terrible, right? 5 minute, 2 minute hits. Yeah, you know what? I don't really care to do the Qs. I mean, you have bars that are just too tight. So, for the most part, just focusing on the 7 non-ETFs actual names, I have, based on how I did it, would you guys say that I was generally fair with my analysis of working and not working? Would you make that argument that I was generally fair on calling out things that worked and didn't work, whether you would have made or lost? Nobody knows, right? So let's see. So we have 7 names: Tesla, Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, Twitter, Square, Roku. 7 names on my list. We have we have 3 times to play them, which gives us 21 trades. And let's count how many winners we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 out of 21 is how I measure this. 15 out of 21 would be 71%. What do you think? Now, you know, again, I probably would have focused on Tesla and Amazon, not Square, Roku, Twitter, Facebook, maybe Facebook. If you focused on Tesla and Amazon, you could have done 5 out of 6. If you wanted to add in Facebook, 7 out of 9. So it's still about 70% ish. So I think it's very important to know, and you could do this on your own names that you're watching as well and look at them and judge them on your own list. The bottom line is if you're looking for conviction, you're better going off of this 21 moving average. And I think that's better in lower conviction environments. I'm sure it could work in higher conviction environments as well. It's something that we've used for a long time. But I think when environment gets really choppy, you just switch over to the 21. Okay. Oh, that's a good question. So Curbster's asking, how does the 1 verse 2 verse 5 look like? All right. So on the 1 minute, you're 5 out of 7. You're 5 out of 7 on the 1 minute. On the 2 minute, you're 4 out of 7. And off the 5 minute, you're 6 out of 7. Granted, the sample size isn't large enough to say that you should only, if you had to, coming off the, so far from my list today, coming off the 5 minute 21 was your best odds of success. You need high convictions. These are not easy. Nobody, nobody is claiming this environment is easy, my brother. I'm just trying to show you something that is working now. Yes, I would love some high conviction. Front running makes it tricky to know if it worked. Sure, I agree. Oh my goodness, look at Booth with the MetaZoo. Damn, that stuff is hot. That stuff is hot. So check this out. I got a little theme deck here. MetaZoo theme deck, Alpha Iceman. And yeah, um, I got non-alternating boxes. Non-alternating. So also got my MetaZoo coming in the mail. Yep, I just got another package today. So yeah, MetaWho. So it's good stuff. Sure, but let me give you the code to open up the garage, Mark, so you can get in if you don't mind as well. Okay, because I locked the door. I keep the key under the left flower pot underneath it. So if you need to go through the front, it's left flower pot on the bottom. Come home and I'll just see a bunch of Newsbeat Live members hanging out and drinking. Make it tough. All right. So that's my that's my theory craft of why I was losing money early. And if you look at a lot of the eights, which I'm not going to go through right now, um, you could look at it yourself. I was having a lot of trouble making money on it. Today was a frustrating side. We're going to do our S marks now. Today was a frustrating sideways day. Recently, you mentioned that certain strategies might work again because of where the SPY was positioned on the daily. With me being under PDT and swings not working, days like today I'd prefer to avoid. Don't blame you, especially since I basically only have 3 a week. Moving forward, is if there is a way to tell if the market will likely move sideways, both in today's chart and the future, not really. It's more hindsight that I find. Also, you've told us that you could have blown out your account multiple times in the past years. Can you please share with us how you climbed back over PDT, or did they not have that rule at the time and you're free to do multiple trades with margin? Um, I don't think that's gonna benefit you as much as hearing people of what they're doing right now today with small accounts. For me, people was if I could tell you what I would do today, talking about past years and giving you wisdom from the past is not going to shine um, intellectual process of the future, I feel. I can't tell you what to do. For me personally, I would just do the news flow with options. I don't know, like PDT. For me, it's bullshit. Like I would never go under PDT, even if I had a $2,000 account. I wouldn't use PDT. Like what? No, I would just use cash personally, and I would do it through options. So like again, I don't think you're going to be able to do it with Think or Swim. Um, I think if you're sitting there by your computer waiting for like me calling out a conviction news flow, or in this case, in the past today, yesterday, like Geronimo had some solid stuff like Netflix. I think those are the ones you got to hit. You sort of have to be in the mentality. What I would do is, so you never know how much an option is going to cost, right? And I'm telling you what I would do. I can't tell you what you would do. You have to do your own due diligence, but I'm just trying to bring you value here. So what I would actually do is, what I would actually do here is, let's say I had $5,000 in an account. I'm sure people have less. I'm sure people have more under PDT. If you're under PD, you could have 20,000, whatever it is. I would just literally sit there. If I had $5,000, I would sit there and I would have one option contract as my preset setting on Schwab. And then what I would do is if I heard a news flow play, I would go in and I would try to throw at least a third to half my money at any one of these plays. And I would have more than 3 trades a week. I could use my cash. And let's say you go into Netflix. I believe the Netflix option I saw was $7 and change. I would tap the buy button 3 times. I'd be like, click, 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 real quick. So it wouldn't take you to 4, it would take you to 3 if you did it quick. And I'd just be like, click, click, click. And I'd have 3 contracts and I would sell them and I would make $1 and I'd make my few $100 and I'd be happy. Now that's a case of news flow. What if there is no news flow? How do you save bullets for news flow? Well, let's say you're not doing news flow. Let's say you're doing this 21 strategy. Well, I wouldn't be able to trade a Microsoft, a Facebook, a Twitter. I would be forced to trade Amazon or Tesla. And that's going to be very interesting on Monday because on Monday, if I had $5,000 with Amazon, I might have one trade, maybe 2 trades in me. Maybe look for a $20 call on a Monday, $25 call, and wait for the 5 minute 21 and just sit on your ass all day and wait for it. And if some news flow comes, use the other half of your money, the other $2,500 towards the news flow. What do you guys think about what I just said? That's all right. It's okay. I don't mind you guys. Maybe I'll give out some, maybe I'll have charity drives where I just send you guys free cardboard, give you a chance to win free cardboard. Like that idea? Mark only deals with the good cardboard, the shit that goes up. Well, hope it goes up. Anything can happen, right? Could go to zero, right? Just try to do your best due diligence. So the 18K you're talking about Arcane Rising. Welcome to Wraith cases. You're not paying less than $28,000 for that one. I do not have 30 cases of WTR. Bro, you're tripping right now. Nowhere near. I wish I did. Um, I'll dream with you. Did you guys know that I was buying a shitload of Flesh and Blood when I bought it? I think I told you that I was putting a lot of money behind it. So, like, it wasn't really a surprise. It wasn't like, right? All right. Anyway, well, this MetaZoo, I'll tell you right now. The MetaZoo it's heating up really well. I like the direction of the game. Am I holding it long term, Josh? Maybe. Is it still a buy at $3,000 a Kickstarter booster box non-alternating is what you're asking me, Boof? Um, Sample cards. There's 100 sample cards. Well, anyway, that goes for the email. I'll move on, but there's 100 of each sample card. And I'm looking for a sample Mothman. I'd probably drop 5 grand on it if somebody had one, which is way above fair market value. I am struggling with the 2 minute green takes red. Quick 2 minute front run question. For the 1 minute front, so every green take red is a 1 minute front run entry. The problem is if the 1 minute high happens to be the green takes red on the 2 minute high, those are the ones that are tougher. Those are the ones that are tougher. Pretty much, nobody rotated the box with packs, so there are four different booster packs with different artworks. They're all lined up together in the non-alternating as opposed to the normal Kickstarter. So if basically what I'm saying is if you opened up a non-alternating box and you opened up a normal Kickstarter box, you would not be able to tell the difference between the two products. It would be obsolete at that point. Okay. Um, for the 1 minute front run entries, do you wait for the offer to break the 1 minute trigger? And for exits, you like to wait for the ask to break or the whole number, or is it the actual print? This will help me so much in making sure to focus on the correct thing. So basically, a lot of times I will slightly front run the 1 minute. So let's say you have a 1 minute chart on your left, and you have a 2 minute chart on your right, and you're using the 21 because that's where I really like the sex appeal. You get some crap like that, and then the next bar starts moving up. If you were to focus on this part right here, and on the 1 minute, it looks like this. Oh God, wrong one. So let's say, so these are three 1 minute bars, and this is a live 2 minute bar, which is halfway done or about, right? So right over here, we'll put it in purple. This is the green takes red. These lines, these two highs are identical. Let's say the trigger is over for the 1 minute entry would be over here. Me, where am I purchasing it? I am purchasing it usually right over here with a stop of maybe right over here. So very tight stop. very tight stop. And what I'm hoping for is as this bar goes up and triggers, I don't really mind if this bar goes here and then the next bar goes here and then eventually goes here. That's the optimistic scenario. As long as this stop here is in place, I'm cool with whatever you decide of how to play this scenario out. You could scalp it before it hits green to red. But if you're not using a 1 minute portal, I have struggled not being able to do that. Does that make sense? If they're really far apart, would be similar to the example in which I'm showing now. If they're really close together, then I'm trying to get in right before the 1 minute. Same way. So it doesn't matter if this red bar over here is much closer to the high of the red bar to the right of it. Does that make sense to you? I have no preference at the moment. Does that make sense to you, Chase? If you can't buy, if you can't use a 1 minute bar that is lower than the 2 minute bar to enter, don't like it. Or, I'm not saying it won't work. I'm saying it's really hard to trade it. And just so we're clear, you should be doing everything off the 21. Right, I don't want them being the same, correct. Sometimes I'll play them and I'll just make up a really tight stop from where I enter. Like I'll buy it and say, go up now. And oh, no, buy. And I'll do it on a Tesla and I'll take a 10, 15 cent loss on Tesla calls like that. Hope that helped. Mark, I have completely lost confidence. I believe your strats work. I see them working for others, and they're just not working for me now. They did before. I've had many consistent months in the past. I know it's my fault. I truly believe it's my mindset that is the issue. I just don't know how to get that back. Recently, I entered every trade fearful, and I have regressed even more this week red than last. I'm tearing down again every single time the last couple months that I build a few small green days or a green week, and then think I get it. I tried to size up. That's the problem. That's the problem. You're psychologically sizing up is not an easy thing. People think because they're consistent, oh, I'll just size up. You don't realize you're trading differently because you're not going to. A lot of times when people size up, they just stop giving the stocks the same room they were doing before. They're not as calm and focused. You're nervous. If your position size makes you nervous, it's too much for you. Really. What if one contract makes me nervous? Then try it on a less volatile name. Then get punched in the face on a bad loss. And I'm trying harder than ever, but keep repeating the cycle. I'm lost, reaching for something to find any sort of consistency and confidence again. I've completely lost my mental state. Being red P&L makes me a bad dad, a bad person, and negative builds and negativity builds and builds, and it's unhealthy. I feel so bad about it, and I heard the email from the guy who says he's been in the room 3 years the other day, and I feel for him so much and truly fear that that will be my fate too. Maybe I'll never learn. I'm over a year now, and the struggle is real. I know you're the real deal. I'm convinced of that. Any help or books or anything, I'll listen. I'll do what you say. I want to win with you in the room. I'm all ears here. Okay. Well, I mean, you know, obviously, with the information you gave me, it's hard to really say what you're doing here that's losing money or making money. I understand psychologically what you're going through from your email, and I can understand how you feel right now, which is pretty effing awful. And I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I understand what you're going through. I do very well, actually. So what I really try to do is literally days like today should really open up your eyes. I can put myself in your shoes very well. That's the beauty. That's the beautiful thing about me. And it's something that I actually think about with like my children sometimes. Like, is growing up in a Brooklyn ghetto, does that help me be more compassionate to people and more understanding? And I want to instill those principles on my son, but just being honest, he's growing up in a much nicer house than you know, well, I grew up in an apartment building, but he's growing up in a much better, nicer home than I grew up in. What is the point of me saying that? The point of me saying that is I know what it feels like to be at rock bottom. I also know in trading how it feels like to be at rock bottom. I would say right now, if I was in that scenario with you where, you have some good months and it gets hard, I know it got hard. And I know it's going to get easier, and I know it's going to get harder, and I know it's going to get easier, and I know it's going to get harder because that's how it's been like for the past, I'm on my, can you believe in a couple months I'll be trading 22 years? So, like videos like I do today, where I'm showing you guys like strategies where, I'm drawing them out, and I'm, I actually don't want you to swipe your credit card for this, but I'm showing you strategies with the charts, and I'm going through all the charts and videos like this. My question is, what if you just did that tomorrow? You know what? Let's call you people out. You people. You traders who are having a tough time in this environment. You people. How many people right now feel like they're struggling in this environment? And by struggling, I don't mean you're making less money than you did in January and February. I don't consider that struggling. I mean, like, you're just losing money consistently. Okay. So here's my question for you guys. And there's a number of you, right? There's a number of you. Take a small percentage of a large room, and you have a lot of people who are struggling. And I have news for you. You're going to succeed, and you're going to run into a snag again, and then you're going to succeed, and you're going to run into a snag again, because that's what day trading is. So what my goal is right now is to get you out of the current snag, the current thing which is holding you back, that snag that's holding you back here. My thoughts are, how many of you are considering just type in type in 55 if you're just considering doing nothing but what I showed you tonight on the 21 tomorrow with any name you watch. I would hope that you would all say 55, whether it's true or not. You don't got to lie to me. And I'll tell you why. Because your job is not to maximize the opportunities tomorrow. Your job is to show and prove to yourself that regardless of the number, that you can have a green P&L. Because when you guys were having the good months, what happened was you were piecing together green P&Ls. And you need to do that again. And I know you're on the first floor right now, and you were, hanging out on the fifth floor, and you're looking up on the fifth floor, and you just keep jumping as high as you can to get to the fifth floor where you were, and you keep failing, and then you fall on your ass, and you break your ass bone, and then you're walking around, you're standing up all the time, and somebody says, have a seat. And you're like, no, thank you. I'll stand because I have to keep jumping for that fifth floor. You keep jumping and jumping, then you fall on your ass and you fall on your ass, and this all these bruises and these cuts and these scrapes, and that's your red P&L. But what I'm trying to tell you is, you know what? You want to get to the fifth floor? Here's the fucking staircase. Why don't you take one step at a time? But they have pizza over there. Yeah, you're not having pizza tomorrow. But I'll show you the stairway to get you to the pizza. You won't get there tomorrow. You won't get there the day after. But if I put you back on the right track, you're going to be gold because you're going to have confidence in something you can rely on. Chad, do me a favor. Tell me your address so I could call up all your local pizzerias and tell them not to send you pizza. Don't deliver to that Chad guy. That, or I'm going to like take your address and like order like 17 pounds of Chinese food. Be like, did you order this? And Chad's like, no. But it says right here you ordered it. Johnny's like, you could do that to me right over here, Mark. I accept that. I accept your challenge. You didn't. You bought a car booth? Oh, okay. Booth is not allowed to buy. You can't have pizza, Chad. Booth is not allowed to have a Lambo. Um, yeah. Do you guys want me to here? Um, all right. I posted it. Okay. Screenshot it here if you want. Post in the alert window. That's the problem. You want to go back to the fifth floor where you were hanging out, you know? Parties and fun, and you just want to get back there. I get it. We all want to get back there. There's a right way to get there and there's a wrong way to get there. Why don't we stop doing the wrong ways to get there and start doing the right way to get there? Your job is to not make money. Your job is to not lose money. Your job is to prove to yourself that you can actually follow something and walk out doing the right thing. And that should bring you ahead. All right. That's my feelings. That's why I'm doing videos like this. Hey, I wanted to drop you a line. I apologize if I ramble or I'm not completely coherent. It was a pretty exclamation at pound sign dollar pound sign percentage day for me. Truth be told, it's been a really bad trading week. Red every day, down about 2,600 for the week. After being decently positive the last week of March, I was determined to trade well and deliberately. I believe overall I did. It's just that every day there was something that went wrong or that I did wrong. Too many contracts, news that didn't work, late on news or in a position when it comes out. And then once I'm significantly red on the day, I find it very hard to get back to green. I saw the video 2 days ago. At this point, February and March, flat to red. My account is almost back to when I joined the room about 5 months ago. Part of it may be that when I'm down, I try to trade even more carefully, tearing down and selling faster. I don't think that's bad. More often than not, that means I sell before the real the real move on the would-be profitable trades. I can't stand that word, real move. Because what happens is psychologically your brain forgets about those times you sold quickly and how many times you would have gotten your face ripped off had you held it. And then the real move comes, except it's not the move that you wanted. The real move was a real, kick to the nads type move. But you forget that. That's what the amygdala in your brain actually does. In general, I have a problem selling too fast. As soon as I see a profit, I take it. Of course, the reverse is also true. I sell as soon as the trade doesn't work, in which case I often lose the spread and then some. So I would say, I would say, I don't have a, I don't see an issue here. I would say your solution isn't changing that mentality. Again, this is just my opinion. Do your own due diligence, make your own decision. I'll always remind you of that. I would actually find a situation where buying in makes the stock pop up right away. And that's exactly what I was trying to show you today. A 21 strategy where you buy in on the 1 minute, and whether it gets to the 2 minute green takes red or not, or whether it follows through, or the real move happens, or the real move doesn't happen, you're just quickly in and out. You know? You see, when you start getting romantically attached to a name, to a stock, it's, you know, it's almost like you're making love to it. You know, you want, you go in the stock, you want to hang out there for a while, you want to see what happens, you want to see the real move happen. You don't know how long it's going to take, but you want to see the real move. What if, what if I told you the market doesn't give a shit about you or me or anyone here? What if I told you that? Would you believe that if I told you the market doesn't give a shit about any one of you? You see, ladies and gentlemen, the worst thing about falling in love is when you love the person a lot more than they love you. There is no worst thing in the world, and it is a very common situation, especially when it's, even if you love somebody a little more than they love you, that's fine. But I'm saying when you love somebody so much, not only do they not, not only do they not love you, but they actually don't give a shit about you whatsoever. That's a toxic relationship. And the same thing could be said about the market here. When you buy these names, you're actually getting emotion. The real move happens, and then you start playing in, and then I can already tell you what you're doing. You're fantasizing if you held your position for that sort of move, what money you could have made, and then what you do is you start fantasizing further and saying if I had more contracts, how much money I would have made, or more shares, how much money I would have made. Then all of a sudden you start playing these fantasies in your head, which is not a reality. You start pretending the person you're with is somebody in whom they are not. My goal is if they don't really care about you, I don't really see an issue with you with sort of the hit it and quit it mentality here, where you're selling fast when you're up, you're selling fast when you're down. You're not making love, you're getting through the process as soon as possible. It's not a making love manual, it's a sex manual. In, out, repeat if necessary. In, out, repeat if necessary. In, out, repeat if necessary. The strategy I taught you tonight will help you be a promiscuous stock market trader with zero emotions attached. That is something very powerful. So you got the hit it and quit it mentality down real good, you know. Got the, more often you sell, you got that point down. So what you need is since you're saying the issue is when the trade doesn't work, you lose the spread and then some, of course you do. Why not just try to find setups in which you're up money right away? Then you could hit it and quit it and rotate. Hit it, quit it, rotate. Hit it, quit it, rotate. Hit it, quit it, rotate. It's like hiker. Hit it, quit it, rotate. Hit it, quit it, rotate. Become a hiker. Really. But like that's the right mentality here. Even the news plays, I sell way too fast unless they don't work, then it's never fast enough. At this point, I know what I should be doing. Red takes green with 1 minute portal. Exactly. Or prefer after hitting the 21. Even better. So you already know what's up. I'm just having a hard time executing and or holding. Maybe I should count to 5 before selling news plays. I haven't included my trades. I'm too spent to look at them right now. However, I'm confident they're all decent conviction bona fide setups. Today was just salt in the wound when I got awful fills on both sides of the Visa trade, doubling my loss for today. Visa had very wide options. Gotta look at the spreads. Visa was an amazing call today. It was an amazing call today. You just have to look at the spreads. Booth shorted common on Visa. It's fine. Any wisdom, words of encouragement, or inspiration would be appreciated. I think you got most of it right. I think you just need to put yourself in situations where you're right away most of the time, or 70% or more. That's exactly what I showed you today. I think you approach the hit it, quit it, rotate mentality on it. You know, I think you're going to be good. I did options in Visa. I did fine, but I agree. I agree that I got some really good fills on the puts. I got the same fills as people in the room, like $1.50 range on that big spread. Slightly closer to the offer than the bid, but still somewhere in between, middle in between on the higher end, but it was fine. Whoa. Netflix was good too. I hit that as well. It's really great heads up. Really great news flow. I hope that helped you. You need your names to put out right away. You can't do this whining and dining and wait for the real move to happen. You need to put out like first date. It's like one of those dates, like pretty much like when you go into that's why the 1 minute 21 is so powerful. It's like one of those situations like you meet like somebody for the first time and the first thing they do is they just make out with you before saying one word. And then they're like, hi, hi, just sets the whole tone, like for the whole evening correct. You don't even get to just like randomly. It's like not even say a word. It's like you're going into a stock for a first time. First thing the stock does, makes out with you. First thing. If you get kicked in the nuts and slapped in the face, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. I mean, I'll send you an ice pack, but okay. Um, look, I'm just I'm just saying, like it just sets the mood right. That's what stocks should do. Shouldn't be like, ah, well, what are you gonna do for me? What? Huh? It's you're 1 minute 21. I'm looking to scalp you. Do you want a long-term relationship? No. Do you want to come over later and meet? No. You said you were taking me out for dinner. I lied. So what do you want to do? You want to just right over here? Well, let me know quickly, because otherwise I'm going to rotate. Liqir. Hiqir. I have really I haven't been. That is that's the right mentality though. Okay. I haven't been. I've only had long-term relationships and serious relationships in my life. But when it comes to the market, that's not the right approach. That's what I'm saying. Hey Mark, it's Jackson. Been a long time since I've checked in. I hope you're doing great, man. I was curious if you were considering prop trading for members these days. Lack of capital is one of my biggest challenges. I was wondering if that was something you were looking to do. Hope it's all with well with you and your family. Um, was I looking to trade prop personally? No. But prop trading has everything has its pros and cons. Everything has its pros and cons. Yeah, you could talk to Derek and tell him Melnick sent you. Well, you didn't have 25K, Booth. Came in this room with like $2,000. Okay. But then you want to prove that you could do it? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, to our last email here. Hit it, quit it, rotate. Hit it, quit it, rotate. For me, that's going to be the 21 where I hit it, get in, money, make it, lose it, don't care, move on. Hi, Mark. Really having a rough go of the last 2 months. Went from 9 consecutive green months, and the last few were five-figure months. I didn't have a single red week in that stretch. I started to average around 1,000 plus on my green days. I had my best run of 16 consecutive green days in the middle of February. And the market turned, and I started struggling to be consistent. It really didn't bother me at first. I started having more red days than normal, roughly 2 to 4 red days a month before. I would say I trade relatively small size depending on the setup and name, for example, 1 to 10 contracts. By mid to late March, I was just yo-yoing back and forth, red, green, red, green, frog in a blender mentality. Red, green, red, etc. Losses started getting bigger. My red days were getting bigger. I'm having trouble making even a little and being okay with making a little. I will have a streak of green trades and all of a sudden just start taking front run loss after front run loss. The wins after front run losses wouldn't make up for the losses and it's adding up. I haven't lost too much, but I can't get back on track. That's the whole point of, and I'm so glad I did this Newsbeat show today because what I did was meant for people like you, for you type of peoples to get back on the track where you belong. Traders who are derailed, you type of traders, you type of people. It's meant for you to get back on track when you were derailed, and it's really wearing on me. I'm also trying to stay positive, and even if I am down a little, I'm noticing I'm just losing more. I'm hesitant on news plays now where I don't hold long enough to make much. or to take too small of a size. I see how much I normally would have made. You're fantasizing. I see how much I normally would have made, and I think I start forcing things after trying every 1 or 2 minute breakout. Yeah, I've gotten inside sort of that psychological rut here myself. I know I am not doing well in the 2 minute strategies unless it's off the 21. Bang! This email was written a day ago. I was doing the 1 minute portal to 2 minute before you did the video on it recently. I also know we don't make it all back in one go, but I can't seem to walk away after I'm up or down. I've sized down too, and and as soon as I start to feel more confident and I have green trades, I size up slightly and end up taking losses. That's the mistake. Stop sizing up. Right now, I would be happy if I could just get 5 green days in a row, making 2 to 300. It's not about making 2 to 300. Erase that from your head. When you're making $1,000 days, you weren't aiming for $1,000 days. They were just coming because you were trading correctly. Stop putting a number on it. I know the money will come. Damn right it will. But it's just frustrating when I'm up and just piss away the day. I feel you. I never used to do that. I also never let a red day get worse or affect my next trade or day, but I can't get out of this cycle. Let me know if you want more info. Always. I know for a fact I'm not hitting my usual 70%, mainly due to front run losses. All the best. Love you in the room. All right, so obviously a trader, obviously making money inside a rut right now. That is the whole point of the 21 video. Try it. It's going to build discipline. You're going to sit on your ass. You're going to ignore 99% of the shit out there. You're going to see people making money. You're going to see people losing money. You're going to see people excited. You're going to see people never post toxic words in the room. You're going to see news. You're going to see all this, but you're just here to get back on track. Again, you're trying to get back to the fifth floor. The problem is when you're on the first floor after you were on the fifth floor for months. I just make up the fifth floor just because it's high enough where you can't jump and hit the fifth story of something. Psychologically speaking, you probably couldn't hit the second story, but when I say five, it's obvious. See, what you're trying to do is you're trying to say, all right, you know what? I don't need to be on the fifth floor with all the alcohol and all the pizza and and all the fun and all the partying. You know what I need? I'll be happy if I was just on the third floor. That's what you're saying, or the second floor. And I'm like, bro, just forget about that shit. Just take the first step that's right in front of you. Take the first step that's right in front of you, and you will get to where you need to go. Capiche? Thanks for saying that, David. That these males emotionally are all hitting home. I'm trying to provoke emotional responses from you. Hence why I'm talking about the way I'm talking in this video. No pizza for Chad. He can have alcohol, but no pizza. No pizza for Melnick either. Amen, Shmuley. Uh, I did it tonight, Baxter. Tonight. Oh, you mean, I talked about I did several 21 videos. Hope you guys enjoyed this Newsbeat show. And I need to let you guys know that unless I approach it with extremities, approach it with extremities, I'm not going to be able to resonate you with all of you. That's why I'm doing it. This is me talking about the way. I'm not crude. You're going to be hard pressed to find somebody more compassionate in this world who tries to do everything they can for people than I will. You'll be hard pressed to find a person like that. The reason why I talk the way I do, at the end of the day, it's strictly business. You guys are my family and I love you, but when I talk to you this way, it's strictly business. I love you guys immensely. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you tomorrow morning on, oh, I won't see you tomorrow morning on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast, but hopefully in the afternoon.